out for justice and dignity.
Zimbabwe stands on the brink of significant political upheaval as the Southern African Development Community, SADC, summit approaches, scheduled for August 17 to 19. The country is preparing for a series of protests that could shape its future. These demonstrations, organized by a major media house in Zimbabwe, Gambakwi Media, and driven by civil society, encapsulate the deep-seated frustrations and hopes of a nation yearning for change. At the heart of these protests are three pivotal demands. First, there is a call for President Emmerson Mnangagwa to step down. The recent presidential elections have been fraught with allegations of rigging, voter intimidation, and procedural irregularities. Observers from various international bodies, including SADC, the African Union, and the European Union, have pointed out significant flaws in the electoral process, casting a shadow over Mnangagwa's declared victory. Second, the protesters are urging for negotiations with opposition leader Nelson Chamisa, who many believe to be the rightful winner of the contested election. Chamisa represents a beacon of hope for many Zimbabweans, symbolizing a potential return to democratic principles and governance that respects the will of the people. Third, there is a strong push for SADC to play a more active role in mediating the political crisis. Protesters are specifically calling for SADC not to appoint Mnangagwa or Zimbabwe as the chair of the SADC body. This demand underscores the necessity for an impartial mediator who can facilitate genuine dialogue and pave the way for a peaceful resolution. The grievances fueling these protests are deeply rooted in the country's recent history. Zimbabwe's elections have been consistently criticized for their lack of transparency and fairness. Issues such as the refusal to release a finalized voters' roll, gerrymandering, and voter intimidation have plagued the electoral process, eroding public trust in the government's ability to conduct free and fair elections. The upcoming SADC summit presents a unique opportunity for the region to address Zimbabwe's political turmoil. Scheduled to coincide with SADC Day, the summit will bring together regional leaders to discuss cooperation and development. The timing of the protests is strategic, aimed at leveraging the presence of these leaders to draw attention to Zimbabwe's plight and urge them to take decisive action. This movement is notably driven by civil society rather than political parties, highlighting a grassroots demand for change. Zimbabweans, both at home and abroad, are being called to support the cause. Those within the country are encouraged to participate in the protests, while those in the diaspora are urged to contribute financially or return home to join the demonstrations. This collective effort reflects the widespread discontent with the current state of affairs and the desire for a homeland free from corruption and misrule. The potential impact of these protests cannot be overstated. By bringing the issues to the forefront during the SADC summit, protesters aim to pressure both the Zimbabwean government and regional bodies to address the nation's governance issues. The involvement of SADC as a mediator could be crucial in facilitating a fair political process and ensuring that the voices of the Zimbabwean people are heard. As Zimbabwe prepares for these critical protests, the world watches with bated breath. The outcome of these demonstrations could set the stage for significant political changes in the country. For Zimbabweans, this is a moment of reckoning, a chance to reclaim their nation from political turmoil and set it on a path toward democratic governance and economic stability. The protests represent not just a cry for justice, but a powerful assertion of the people's will to shape their own destiny.
Chamisa calls for peace, let's negotiate the way. Mnangagwa turns his back, ignores what we all say.